All right. So let me quickly do a quick recap of what we spoke about yesterday before we go into today's business. Yesterday, we started off by doing a quick overview or a recapitulation of what we discussed last meeting, and then we went into the concept of where's my guide. Let me see. All right, so we went into where is this guy? So there's so we went into common data quality problems and how to identify them. I showed us how to filter it according to inspect your data sets, and we're able to fish out some inconsistencies with our data, which we solve. And we also, okay, so today we'll be looking at a couple of things and some of these functions, although we've already covered the upper and lower functions as well as the proper function. So today, looking at the change function, the split function, the if, count A, and count back function. So these are some of the functions that are being used by data analysts and data professionals to handle their day-to-day activities. So let's jump right into the discussion for today's class. I'll be working with the data sets that we've shared with us already. I think we all have access to our data sets. Let's get it. We create that is one we worked with yesterday. Now is this our database. Yes, this is database. All right. So the first function I'll be introducing to us today is the if function. Let me start with, should I start with the if function or I should start with the split function? Okay, let me start with the if function. But before I do that, this is not the data set we modified yesterday. Yeah, this is not it because I know when I filter this box, filter this part, the ID column, I should find that, yeah, this is it. So you can see I found that one with the error. So let me look for the one that we worked with yesterday so that you can continue working with that data. It's I find that data sets. Give me a minute. Aha, I think this is it. This should be the data set. Yes, this was the one we worked with yesterday. So let's continue working with this. All right, so I want to introduce us to the split function. Let's start with the split function. For any function I introduce us to, my voice is low. It's not just low, but very low. Wow. Please, is it the same thing for everybody? Is my voice very low from every other person's end? Georgina. Oh, I did it. My voice is low.
It's not only low, but it's cracky somehow. Like I can barely hear what you're saying.
Oh, are you serious? I hope I have not. Hello. Oh, okay. No. Is it better now? Is it better at all? I need to.
Yes, I think it's better.
It's better. Okay. So please, at any point, if you can't hear me clearly, someone should just raise your hand and let me know, please, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss out on anything I say. Every single word that comes out of my mouth is very, very important, and I think it is worth hearing. So let's get into business. The first function I want to introduce us to is the split function. I'll drop the name of the function on the chart. Split, S-P-L-I-T. That is the function. For any function I introduce, I will first explain a scenario where the function can be used. Please note, I will be introducing. Ruth said no. Ruth, what do you mean by no? Hello, Ruth. All right, let me continue. Let's assume that was a mistake. So I will be, what was I saying again? So I'll be introducing us to some functions that is used for data analytics processes. Now, the split function helps a data professional to divide the content of a column by a delimiter. Ruth, can you hear me? What is going on today?
Sir, sorry, my network is very poor.
I see. That could be the problem. But can every other person, if you can hear me, kindly give me some service. All right. Thank you very much for the reaction. So Ruth, please get a better place. I need you to be on this call, all right? Because you're one of my favorite students so far. So let's continue. This again, I said the split function, please listen carefully. The split function is used to split the value or the contents of a cell. Okay. Mohammed, I can see your thumbs down. What does that mean?
Sir, the unit is fluctuating, is breaking.
Okay. Let me try without my headphone and see if that would improve anything. Hello everyone. Mohammed, is it better now? All right. So I'm still having the headphone on. I just restarted the headphone and I hope that that would have solved the problem. Okay, so I want to take the definition, not definition necessarily. I want to explain what the split function does again before I even do it or before I implement the split function. The split function takes the content of a cell and split it into multiple cells depending on how the content is presented by a delimiter. The split function divides or splits the content of a cell by a delimiter. What do I mean by delimiter? A delimiter can be comma, apostrophe, ampersand, at. I think as I'm saying all of this, I should be typing in so that you know what these symbols mean. So a delimiter can be a comma. A delimiter can be just white space. White space can be a delimiter. A delimiter can be dash, plus, ampersand, asterisk, open bracket, close bracket, at, percentage, $sign. In fact, any symbol can be referred or regarded as a delimiter. Does that make sense, guys? Good. Let me give you a typical example before I even go ahead and type. Let's say I collected some people's email addresses. Name 1 at gmail.com. Name 2, let me zoom out. Name 2 at gmail.com. Name 3 at gmail.com. And so on and so forth. Now, if my interest is to split the values in these 3 cells as name 1 in a cell or in a column, then gmail.com in another column like this. And I want name 2 to be on this column, and then Gmail should be on the other column, and so on and so forth. If this is what I want to achieve, instead of doing this manually, typing it one by one, I would use the split function. And this is how it is done. Don't forget, before I do it, I want to ask a question. Let me be sure that some persons who were on the call yesterday still remembered what we discussed. Please, is anyone hearing him? Ah, my God. Is anyone hearing Mr. Namdi clearly? Guys, are you hearing me clearly? Oh, thank God, I can see. Ah, thank God. So, Emmanuel, your network is most likely the issue here, and it's not from my side. Let me continue. So, if I want to achieve what I just explained, okay, no, I wanted to ask a question. Let me go back to asking my question before I move on. Whose name is on my screen? I'm calling on someone at random. Please, if I call your name, kindly unmute your mic and answer my question. I've not asked the question yet. So I would like Edward. Edward, hi. How are you doing today? Can you say hello to me, Edward, if you can hear me? Edward? No, unmute your mic. I want to hear your voice. Ah, Edward was not in my class yesterday. Okay, but unmute your mic. Okay, don't worry. Just don't worry. Let me call on. I can see 3 Emmanuels on this call. Francis Mowell. I think I saw you in class yesterday. Can you unmute your mic? I would like you to answer a question for me. It's a very simple question. Don't be scared.
I didn't really follow up on much yesterday. I had network issues.
Sorry, but just wait. No, leave your mic unmuted. So when we're about to enter a function or a formula in Excel or in a spreadsheet, what is the first thing to do? The first thing to type before you type your function or your formula? What's the first thing to type before the function or the formula, Francis? If you don't have an idea, just say I have no idea, so that I can move on to the next person.
I have no idea.
Okay, Francis, pick somebody. Who would you like to answer the question? Just call any name. Georgina, please. The battle has been handed over to you. I mean the baton. So you might answer the question.
You have to type an equal to sign first.
Beautiful. Georgina, I'm only one chingom yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have another chingom plus 2 plus 1. So she's correct. Let's give her a virtual hand clap, please. Georgina, thank you for being an amazing student. So before you type in any function or any formula in spreadsheet, so I am intentionally calling it spreadsheet because the same thing that is applicable here in Google Sheets is also applicable in Excel and any other spreadsheet package that you can think of. You start with the equality sign, equal to, then you type in the split because our focus is on split function. Open your brackets. So anytime you put in a function, you have to, when you call the name of the function, you don't forget to open a bracket, a curved bracket. Then split, what do I want to split? I want to split the content in Q4. So I just go ahead and select Q4. Click to select Q4 and immediately you will see Q4 appear in my function. Of course, you can type it with your hand if you want to do that also. See, I just typed it and it also gave me the same effect, right? Then what else would you give to the split function? You put a comma and tell the split function the delimiter you want to use to split this content of Q4. So what delimiter do I want to use? I want to use the @ delimiter. Put the @ delimiter inside double quote. Wrap the @ delimiter inside double quote. Can you all see my function? Before I hit on enter key. Can you all see my function, guys? If you can see the function, give me thumbs up. I need you to ask your question.
Lisa, can you type out what you mean by split so that as we are working, you can, like, somebody can always go back to it to understand what you mean by split function?
Okay, so what you're asking is I should type out what the split function does. Is that what you're asking?
Like, I know you defined the split function, like you defined it.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But right now, I know, any symbol is under split function, or it's also known as split function. I feel like if you type it out, we can always come back to it even when we are watching back this video.
Okay, I get your point. I'll show you something that is better than typing it out. Don't worry, I'll show you very soon. Let me take Mohammed's question before I move on. Mohammed, your hand is up.
Okay, sir. The Q4, I don't understand what it means there, sir.
The Q4. Mohammed, you are referencing the cell. He has forgotten what we spoke about yesterday. So we referenced the cell that has the content of interest. What is the content of interest? Name1@gmail.com. So name1@gmail.com is stored inside the cell called Q4. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Let me go back to Adetutu's question. So Adetutu wants to see the definition of the split function or the function of the split function. Tautology. So instead of typing it, out as she had recommended or suggested, I would show us something. The IntelliSense here. Let me show us something. Can you see? Anytime you click on a function, it will show you a question mark just before at the back of the function. I will click on this question mark to see what that split function looks like. So this is the syntax of the split function. It says the split function accepts a text. And what is the text in this case? The text is saved in Q4. It also accepts a delimiter. Now, but what does the split function do? When you click on this drop down, it shows you. Now, and what's it? This is what you're requesting for. About the split function, it divides text around a specific character or string and puts each fragment into a separate cell in the row. I hope this makes sense. So any function you want to use in spreadsheets, it has this IntelliSense, or it has this information about the function. So if you do not know what the function is used for, you can always open this description of the function, and it doesn't stop at giving you a definition. It will also give you an example. So this is an example of how the function is being used. So in this case, they gave it a text a, B, C, and the delimiter here is comma. So these two other parameters split by each and remove empty text. They are optional. Even if you don't put those parameters, your split function would work as expected. In all my work as a data analyst and scientist, where I have to use the split function, I have not had a reason of using these two parameters, because by default, even if I don't put them in the function, by default it is true. So true is usually the case. I'm not going to bother myself in doing that. Now, when you scroll down, you can go ahead to read what each of these parameters, what they mean. You can see, you can read about them here. And if you want to go for that, you can click on read more. It will take you to a page that has the split function, and it gives you more examples of the split function. And then you can see, so it gives you more examples. You can even copy this example and paste it in your computer or in your Google Sheets and see how it works. So I don't want to go over that at this point. Let me just let's continue. I'll close my help tab. Now I have typed the split function. Just watch this. I'll hit the enter button, and immediately I do that, you see what just happened. The content that was stored in Q4 has been split into two columns, name1 and gmail.com, just like I showed us before I wrote the function. And because we have used cell reference, we can easily click and drag it down to affect it to other cells or other rows. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. Thank you, guys. Now, don't forget, I said a delimiter can be comma, a delimiter can be underscored, a delimiter can be space, and so on and so forth. Now, I want to give a quick exercise. Are you all ready for my exercise? Everybody, are you all ready for my exercise? Now, the first person that will complete this exercise, share their screen and show us, they get a gift from me. And I'll be giving the person 1,000 naira airtime. I know 1,000 naira is a small money, but at least it's a gift. A gift is a gift. Even if I give you polythene bag. It's a gift. You should appreciate it. So I'll be giving the person 1,000 naira airtime of their choice network. Anyone who is able to do this in 2 minutes. So I'll start my timer. I'm not asking my question yet. So I'll start my timer in less than 120 seconds. If you can get this, if you can complete this task, then you qualify for my gift. 2 minutes. All right, are we ready? If you are ready, give me your thumbs up. If you are ready for my exercise, before I give you the instruction. Emmanuel is ready. Who else is ready? Mohammed is ready. Who else is ready? Yeah, Mario is ready. Who else? Georgina, you not ready? I did it too. Okay, Georgina is ready. Okay, no problem. So here's the instruction. On your sheet, I hope everybody have made a copy of this sheet. On your own sheet, right? The instruction is this. Add a column between column B and C. Then split all these departments. Don't add a column, add 2 columns. Add 2 columns between B and C. Split the departments. Split the department by the space delimiter. Your time starts now. Add 2 columns between B and C. Then split the department using the space delimiter. I don't have the data, sir. Daniel, sorry, you have the data, except you did not register for this training and you are on this call. That means we are going to sue you to court for not registering and joined the training. That is the only time you will not have the data. That is the only time you will not have the data. If you have registered, and that means it means you are one of those people that don't need to check their email addresses. Go and check your email address. When immediately you registered, an automatic email was sent to you. In that email, the data set is attached to the email. So the time is counting down. 1 minute, 09 seconds gone. So I have 39 seconds to go. 33 seconds, 32, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 34, 33, 32. Once you're done, just type done in the charts. Type done in the charts. Let me see who is able to complete this thing before the time elapses. 10 seconds to go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time up. Time up. Time up. Time up. Let's see. So who wants to share their screen? The first person whose hand comes up is the person I'm going to work with. I'm not sure. I'm not used to winning gifts. I know it's winning gifts. Emmanuel, are you ready to share your screen? Emmanuel, you went to unmute your mic and you are in a very noisy background environment, I mean to say. So who is ready to share their screen? Anyone? Nobody, unfortunately. This is sad. So nobody's going to give my gift. This is sad. Okay. So Identity, why are you giving me that face? I want you to share your screen. What's happening?
I'm on my laptop.
Oh my God. Hey, my heart. My heart. Okay. Let me do this. So please, everybody's eyes should be on my screen. Now I'm going to add 2 columns between B and C. Right click on B, 1 column to the right, right click on the new column, 1 column to the right, and I have 2 columns. The next thing I will do is to type my equality sign equal to. Why is my sheet saying change unsaved? Don't I have your changes are saved but not let you keep open the Microsoft Office. Okay, no problem. Then I'll put I'll type equal to the function split. Then select B2 and my delimiter is space. So look at it. Space is just put your double quote, space, double quote, close the bracket, enter. Can you see that? So it has split the industrial chemistry as one word into two columns, industrial and chemistry. Now, when I double tap on this guy, it will apply to every other columns. Can you see that? Very simple, very simple. So where can you use this particular method? If you collected the data set that has the name of people, for instance, full name in a column, full name, and people entered their first name and the last name all in one column. If you want to split that column into two as first name and the other column to be last name, this is one use case. Just type your split function and it does that for you without stressing yourself. Does that make sense, guys? Hello? Awesome. Awesome. So that's the solution to the exercise I gave. Yes, please. Is there any question there? I'm not sure. I'm seeing your screen now. I mean, sorry about that. That's most likely a network will be responsible for that. So the next function I want to introduce us to is the if function. The if function. Does anyone have a question about the split function before I move on? Anybody? Anybody? Going one, going two, going three, gone. So
I have a question.
Ask, please.
So I tried doing what you did now, but mine is splitting in the left side, not on the right. Does it matter?
Split to the left. What do you mean by split to the left?
You know, when you did yours, it's splitted to the right. Like the space splitting was on the right, but mine is showing on the left.
And that's because you added your column to the left now, isn't it?
I can't find any right column there.
Are you working from Microsoft Excel? Or are you working from Google Sheets?
Google Sheet.
Are you able to share your screen? Let me see what you're talking about.
I can't share my screen, but I can show my this thing. Is it possible?
We can do what?
I can't share my screen, but I can flip on my camera and flip. Is it possible?
That would be very stressful for me, and I'm not able to see it clearly. So the reason why I was asking to share your screen is because you only place the only what's it called? The only spreadsheet package that doesn't allow you to add column to the left and to the right is Microsoft Excel. You're working with Excel, you can only add a column to the right, not even to the left. So I'm surprised to hear that
So
you're able to add it
if
to
I'm
the right.
you clicked on industrial chemistry, right? And then right click.
Nope.
And you saw insert.
Nope, I didn't click on industrial. I right clicked on the column title itself on B. Right click on B, you see two options: insert one column left or insert one column right. So I chose the insert one column right option.
Oh, yes. Yes.
You've seen it now, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, any other questions, guys? Please, it's important that you're doing what I'm doing now, because you might be doing what I am not doing. And if you're not seeing the result I'm seeing, ask questions. It means that you're not doing the right thing. Yeah, Emmanuel, go ahead.
I'm trying to split this thing. So is it not equal to split then?
Yes. Then comma.
Then comma.
Yes. Then you open and close double quotes, empty double quotes.
Oh, okay.
And there should be a space in the double quotes, just a single space.
So, hey,
Okay.
God, I beg. Also,
Guilty.
the question is coming, but it's not. The English is not arranging.
The English is not English. Don't worry. I don't know how to speak English. I know you'd have noticed this from yesterday. I didn't go to school, so I think you're in the same category. Just anyhow.
I'm honestly sure. I've gotten the right click that you just explained now, because I'm trying to do exactly what you did to like differentiate
Yes.
the industrial chemistry and everything.
Yes.
So you have to enter split on that open space under C, right?
Yes, under C. Yes, that is under C. C2.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
So
two. I see only
C2.
two, but I can't see.
You can't see C2. Ah, beauty was
Yes, I'm seeing C2. I'm seeing C2. Sorry.
low. Okay,
I've
beauty.
seen it. I've seen it.
Can you possibly join this call with your laptop at least so that I can share your screen? Because it makes it very easier and faster.
Okay, let me see. I might delay, but just move on. I'll just switch to my laptop. Then. If I have any other question, I'll revert back.
All right, that is fine. So
Thank
are we all good? Every other person, are we all good? Okay, perfect. Now let's introduce us to the if function. Daniel, yeah, you're saying, sir, did you ask me a question I didn't answer? Let me check the chat. What's your question, Daniel? I have gotten the data from my email, sir. How do I copy? Oh, Daniel. So how to copy your question? You click on file, then click make a copy. That's all. Make a copy, then rename it to whatever you want to call. You can say Daniel's copy or Daniel workshop data set, Daniel's copy, or whatever you want to call it. Daniel underscore workshop. Then you can take this guy out and then make a copy. Okay, Daniel. That's how to make a copy. Does that make sense?
Please, one last thing. Split equals to what did you say we should do in the open space?
Not split equals. Let me do it again. Just watch my screen, please.
Okay, sir.
So equal to split. Open your brackets. What is the text? What do you want to split? I want to split what is inside B2. So I'll select B2. Do you get? Then put a comma and a space. Now, what is the delimiter? What delimiter do I want to use to split? The delimiter here is a space, just a space between industrial and chemistry. So I'll put a space in a double quote like this and close my bracket. That's all. Enter. I'm going to split it for me, and I'll double tap on this guy to make it affect other rows. Cool. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
So are we all good? If you're good, if you're happy, give me thumbs up. If you're sad, give me thumbs down. Of course, that's the one I sad in my class. Let's continue. Francis, you can't be sad in my class. Okay, let me delete. Yeah, is there a hand up or what? Please, for the arts, why did it not do what? Show when you were done. Oh, okay. I think I get your question now. So Georgina she's asking in the example I gave earlier, this example here. Immediately we finish splitting this name and this thing. Why did the art disappear? That is her question. So Georgina, whenever you are splitting any text using any delimiter, that delimiter would not be part of the split or the split items. Even in this case, this space, because our delimiter here is the space, this space. So the space is not part of the split item. The only thing we see is the word before the space and the word after the space. And that's what happened in the case of the art. The word before the art, which is in one, and the word after the art, which is gmail.com. Georgina, does that answer your question? Please, sir, I hope the meeting is being recorded. Yes, it's being recorded, Favor. I noticed you just joined the call. It's being recorded. But you're not too late. The only thing you missed is the split function. Let's talk about the if function. As an analyst, there is no way you would perform analysis or work of Favor without using the if function. Let me give an instance where the if function will be used. And before we do that, let's quickly look at this age group. Okay, before I will do the if function, I want to introduce us to two more functions, the minimum and the maximum function. I would create a new column between E and F, and I will calculate the minimum and the maximum in this column. So the reason why I'm doing this is just because I don't want to be moving to the extreme end or to the extreme end to the right or to the extreme end to the bottom. So I just want to stay at the top. That's the reason I'm adding new columns to perform any calculation. I'll take them out when I'm done. So again, my focus is to introduce us to the if function. But before the if function, I want to do something. I want us to get the maximum age and the minimum age using a function. There's a function called mean equal to min. The mean function gives us the minimum value. You can see the IntelliSense in Google Sheets. It's already suggested the mean of E2 to E151, which is the end of the data. If you scroll down, you see that is the end. You can see E151 is actually the end. So to accept Google Sheets suggestion, all you need to do is to press tab, says tab to accept. When I press tab, that I accept the suggestion and it gives me the minimum, which is 16. So the minimum will give you, so if you have a data set and you want to determine what the list number is, it's either you filter, click on the filter button that I showed you guys yesterday, to filter to say, whenever you filter, the list is always going to be at the top. Watch the C. You can see that the function said the minimum is 16, right? And when I filtered, the 16 is also at the top. So those are the two ways of getting the minimum function. So, I mean, the minimum value under a column. Now, if I want to get the maximum, there's another function called max, max, equal to max. Again, that's suggested the range, which is accurate. I accept that on top. The range is 28. So the minimum, the least, the youngest person here is 16, while the oldest person is 28. Now, I would like us to create two age groups. Let's create two age groups. So that any student who is between 16 and say 16 and 20, let's call that student a teenager. That person is still a teenager, right? Do you agree? Any student who is between ages 16 and 20, let's refer to such students as teenagers. Then any student that is between 20 and 28, that is above 20, but less than 28, let's call such a student a young adult. Do you agree with that classification? That means 16 to 20. So 20 is inclusive. Let these people be called teenagers. And then if you are 20 to 28, 20 here is exclusive. Let's call these people young adults. Guys, do you agree? Do you agree with this classification? Are we on the same page, on same page for us to do this classification or this grouping? Good. So now the question is, how do we achieve this in Google Sheets? How do we actually achieve this in Google Sheets? Please pay attention. Now, this is the point I'm going to introduce us to the if function. So to achieve this in Google Sheets, we are going to use the if function to do that. Instead of me typing it myself manually, because 18 falls between 16 and 20, so 18 should be teenager. Instead of me doing this, 27 should be young adults. 23 should be young adults. 23 should be young adults. So imagine how crazy it would be if you have hundreds and thousands of data and you have to be doing this manually yourself. Start typing one by one. You're going to stay there and spend a lot of time doing that without achieving the goal. So what to do in that case is to write the if function. Before I write the if function, let me explain how the if function works. Let me explain it to you. So this is how I'm going to do it, the if function. The if function is, this is the syntax. If you open a bracket, then inside the bracket, you are going to give the logical expression. If you will give a logical expression, that is the first parameter that is given to the if function. Then you put a comma. Now, the next parameter you put is the value if true. That is, if this logical expression is true, what value would you like to see? That's what you give next. Value if true. All right. Then, what if it is false? What if this logical expression is false? Then the next parameter is value if false. Then you close the bracket and then you hit enter. Guys, does this make sense to us? Let us first understand the if function. It is very, very important that we all understand the if function before I use it, so that you don't struggle to understand it when I use the if function. With what I explained, does it make sense to you? So the if function takes 3 parameters. The first parameter is the logical expression. That is, what do you want to test? Mohammed, go ahead, Professor.
Sir, why is it that there's no equal to before the if sign?
Okay,
Or is
so
this different?
no. I am not writing the function yet. I'm explaining it first. Yes,
Okay.
I'm explaining. So I'm not writing it yet. So when I say I'm not writing it yet, I mean I am not actually executing the if function yet. I just want to explain the syntax. So what I've just written on my screen is called syntax. syntax. So syntax simply means the way a particular programming language or computer package understands instruction. So this if function in Google Sheets, it also exists in Python as a programming language. It exists in C++, in Java, JavaScript. Now, but they are being presented in different ways. The way I use my if function in Google Sheets is slightly different from the way it is being used in Python. So that is called syntax. So I am trying to explain the syntax before I use the function. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense, everybody? I would like to see reactions, so I know you guys are awake. Good. So in this if function, how is it given to the computer? So you start with the if keyword. Don't forget the equality sign must come first. Then inside the bracket, you put the logical expression. So what do you want to test? That's the logical expression. Now, if that logical expression is true, what you would like to see as an output is what you put next. But if the logical expression is false, what you like to see if it is false is what you put last. Those are the 3 things that the if function accepts. Let me give a simple example before we use it in our H column. So guys, I want to ask this question. Yep. I need you to go ahead.
Do we always have to write the logical expression, or we just write if value, if it's true, or like that?
No, you will always have to write the logical expression. I will show you an example of logical. So logical expression is a term that can mean anything. I want to give you a typical example now and show you what a logical expression can look like. And listen to my words. I said what a logical expression. I didn't say what the logical expression. So logical expression can come in different formats depending on what you are testing. Does that make sense? Good. Now, in the example I want to give to us, I want to do something. Please listen, everybody. If I write this, let me see those people that know their basic mathematics on this call. So is this statement true or false? Type it in the chat box. This statement, is it true or false? I don't want to read what the statement says. Let me see who would get the answer correctly. Okay, Edward said false. Francis said false. Daniel said false. Favor said false. Everybody's going for false. Okay. Favor, let me hear you. Why do you think the statement is false? Favor. Unmute your mic and talk to me, Favor.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Okay,
Good
what I
evening to
said
you.
so is logically just 6 cannot be greater than 8.
Beautiful. Let's give him a round of applause. So 6 is actually not greater than 8. So it is a false statement, right? Now, how do I use the if function to display the correct answer? I would say equal to if, open your brackets. Then I put, now in this case, this is my logical expression. 6 greater than 8. That is my logical expression in this example. If 6 is greater than 8, comma, what will I, in fact, you can see that Google should already tell me that, hey, guy, this is false. So this is false. So tell me that this is false, that 6 is not greater than 8. But don't worry. So what will I like to see? If it is true that 6 is greater than 8, I'll write it as a text. I would like to see, yes, 6 is actually greater than 8. So what if it is false? I would like to see, no, it is not greater. Let me just stop like that. Put a bracket and put a bracket. And so what are we expected to see? No, it is not greater. Can we all see that? So right now it gave us no, it is not greater. Why? Because it is false that 6 is greater than 8. Do we understand the logic now? I can see some hands up. I don't know if your hand is up. Was it your former hand or you raised another hand? Okay, Emmanuel, your hand is up. Let me hear your question.
So I'm not seeing the screen. Oh.
Hey, mine is not seeing my screen. That must be a network, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, that must be a network. Or is another person having the same issue? Okay, Mane, please, sorry about your network. So, guys, I hope you understand the logic. Okay. Yeah. So that is the if function. So the if function will always accept 3 things: the logical expression, value if true, and value if false. Those are the 3 things that the logical expression usually accepts. I've given us an example. Now, let us use the if function to create the age group column. Let's use the if function to create the age group column. So I'll call this age group, age underscore. Pay attention to this. I'll start with the equal to sign and say if what? If the age that is stored in E2 is less than 20 or is less than and equal to 20, I would like that age to be I'd like that person to be grouped under a teenager. Else, so now I'll get value if false. So if it is not less than 20, I would like that person to be considered to be a young adult. And then I'll close my brackets and I'll hit enter. And Google Sheet is suggesting auto fill. Let me accept the suggestion and inspect if what we have done is correct. Can you see how simple it is? We have been able to group the students that filled this form as a teenager or a young adult using the if function. Very straightforward. So the first one is correct because this person is less than 20, is between 16 and 20. So the person is considered to be a teenager. The second one is correct because this person is a young adult, is greater than 20. Now 20 is also classified as teenager because I used the operation less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. If I didn't use this less than or equal to, it wouldn't have captured it. So how do you type less than or equal to in Excel? Less than sign and you put equality sign. That is how to put less than or equal to. This is greater than or equal to. Do you understand? So as you can see, the logic has worked just as expected. And we've been able to group our students into a teenager or young adults. Any question? Any questions, guys? Guys, any question? Any question? Any question? Question, please. No question. What was the formula again? Edward, check my formula bar. Just look at the formula bar. This is the formula bar. You see the formula there. Yes, Georgina, go ahead with your question. Hi, Georgina.
Okay, sir. So I have an issue.
Let me hear your issue.
For the age, you did minimum and maximum first, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to do mine. It's not working out. Please, can you come over?
Can you share your
Sorry,
screen?
come again.
Can you share your screen? Let's all see what you're doing wrong so we can quickly correct you. Jadina. Hi, Jadina. What's going on here?
I'm trying to do it.
Okay, you're trying to share your screen, right? All right, please go ahead. Let's see what's happening from the end so I can correct you and make it work. Hi, Nixon. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining the call. I didn't even know you've joined the call. I just saw you now.
Hi, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, Georgina, let me see what you're doing. Under what column are you trying to type the minimum and the maximum? Georgina, you have to unmute yourself. Let me so we can hear you. I can see your screen now, but okay, Georgina. I know why it's not working for you. Yeah, on my sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, on my sheet. You have not made a copy of the sheet yet. Or maybe you have made a copy, but you've not opened your copy. So if you check,
Yeah,
go back to
I have mine already. I made a
okay.
copy.
And then why you not sharing my sheet? Share your own sheet, the copy. Share your copy. Let's see. Because what I saw when you
I
shared
guess
was my
I'm
sheet.
not able to just share my screen properly. I would just go over the video and then find a way around it.
Okay. Regina don't know how to share her screen yet. Okay, no problem. So let me just do it again. So the best way to help you is just to see what you're doing wrong and then correct it. But I'll do it again. Because most times when I do it, it looks very easy from my end. But when you're trying to do yours, then it becomes kind of challenging to do. But let me do mine again. Look at what I did, Georgina. I started by entering the equal to sign, minimum, open your brackets, then choose the range of the values you want to calculate from E2 to the end. So you can click and drag like that, like I did, but this is not the end, right? If you want to go to the end very quickly, you hold Shift key, hold Control key, press your page down or your down navigation key. It gets to the end of the data. So no matter how many rows you have, that's how to get to the end of your data very quickly to highlight all. And when I did that, automatically it selects E2 to E151. Then I can close my brackets and hit enter. And now you see the minimum as 16. Then you can do the same thing for maximum, equal to maximum of E2 to E151. Close the brackets, hit enter, it gives you the maximum as 28. So there are several ways of getting that stuff done. I've seen my mistake. I can do it now. Good. I'm happy that you can do it now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, are we good? Okay, so I want to give us an exercise. Are you ready for my exercise? If you are ready for my exercise, give me thumbs up. Emmanuel is ready. Mario is ready. Favor is ready. All right. So the first exercise is my first task. Exercise 1. Determine. Okay, no. That's not the first thing. Create a column between and m. 2. In the new column, comma, determine the minimum and maximum number hours computer per week. That's it. That's the exercise. And when you determine these values, drop your answers in the chat. Let me see the first to show me their answers. So what is the minimum hours computer per week? That is, what's the minimum hours the students spend on their computer per week? And what is the maximum hour the students spend on their computer per week? I know you can do that using the filter column, but I want you to do that with the minimum and the maximum functions. Once you do that, you will share your screen. Determine the minimum and the maximum. Using the mean and the max. Silver. All right, I'll count from 5 to 0 and then ask that you send your answers in the chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0. So can you tell me your answers? Let me see. All right. Daniel has 5 and 50. Perfect. More answers. Daniel, can you share your screen? Let me see. Can you share your screen, Daniel? Let me see what you've done. Daniel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, please share your screen. Let me see what you've done.
Oh, okay, sir.
All right.
Can you see my screen?
That is the maximum and the minimum. Let's give Daniel a round of applause. Daniel, well done to you. So he did the right thing, and that's highly interesting. Okay. Who else has been able to do that? Is it Daniel that is playing in this class? Ruth, is Ruth still on this call? Ruth is not here. What's happening today? Georgina, are you here? Adetutu, are you here? Mohammed, are you here? Georgina, what's happening? Why are you still trying to do this? What is going on there? Maro, are you on this call? Ramat, Ramat joined late today. Ramat, I hope you're following. Mohammed, favor.
Yes, I've done mine.
Oh, okay, good. Paula. Okay, sorry, that is Nixon. Sorry, Nixon. Francis. Edward. Okay. Now my second exercise. We're going somewhere. Oh. That's the reason I just gave that exercise. So my second exercise is this. Pay attention, everybody, to the second exercise. From the assignments or from the exercise you just did now, minimum hours spent per week is 5, while the maximum hours spent per week is 50. Now, I want us to break this hours spent per week into two categories, or into two classes. So let's say if somebody spends between 5 to say 30 hours per week, let's call that person a beginner. Yeah, let's call that person a beginner. But if the person spends between 30 to 50 hours per week, let's call the person a pro. So this 30 is inclusive. That means from 5 to 30 inclusive, but 30 here is exclusive. I hope you understand what I mean. Now, create another column between the L and the new M, and call the column computer expert level. All right, call the column computer expert level, and write your if function that will classify the students based on the number of hours they spend per week as either a beginner or a pro. If you understand my instruction, please give me a reaction. If you understand my instruction, give me a reaction, please. Okay, I can see reaction from only Edward. Is it only Edward that is on this call? Hello, can we hear me? Hello. Okay, Emmanuel seems not to understand. Jadina, let me explain my instruction again. The first thing I want you to do is to create another column. You know, you've created the first one where you calculated the minimum and the maximum. Still leave that column as is. Then create another column between L and that initial one you created. Call the column computer expert level. Then under this column, group the students by the number of hours spent per week. Group them as either beginner or pro. So if the student spends between 5 to 30 hours per week, 30 hours inclusive, consider that student to be a beginner. But if the student spends 30 hours to 50 hours, consider the person to be a pro. So I said use the if function to classify the students as either beginner or pro. The time starts now. Give everybody 5 minutes to do this. And the time starts now. So the time is ticking, guys. All right. Time up, everybody. Time up, everybody. Can I see what you've done? Let me just see two persons work and then we'll go on to the next thing. Let me see. Please, when I call you, kindly unmute your mic and show me your screen. Ramat, are you able to share your screen? Can I see what you've done? Hi, Ramat.
Hello, sir. My network has been bad, terribly bad. So most of the things you're saying, I couldn't even see your screen. Yeah, I think I sent it in the message to you. My network is bad. I'll just go through the recording later. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Beauty, can I see your screen? Can I see what you've done? Beauty? Please be fast. Can I see what you've done, Beauty? Okay. I don't think this is on this call. To save time, let me just do that very fast and then go on to the next thing I intend to show us. So to actually do what the instruction I gave, this is how to do that. Equal to if. Now, what's the logical expression? If the age is less than or equal to 30, consider that person to be a beginner. Comma, what if it is not true that the age is less than or equal to 30? Consider the person to be a pro. That's all. Very easy. Then close the bracket, hit enter, and accept the suggestion. That's it. It is as simple as A, B, C. How many of you got this correctly? Give me thumbs up if you did. Oh, well done, Emmanuel. Virginia, what is happening? Why didn't you get it correctly? It's very easy now. Okay. So, well done, guys. I'll delete this column. I no longer need it. And now, what we've just done is called feature engineering. I've engineered new features. I engineered the computer expert level column. I also engineered the age group column. I'll delete this column. I no longer need this. Now, let's now go into proper analysis by taking distributions of the different categories that we have here. Let's go into proper analysis. Proper analysis. Who is this Christiana that's trying to join? Is it that she doesn't have the link in her? Let me accept her first and then find out who she is. Hello, Christiana. I just admitted you to the call and I was not supposed to admit you because it's expected that you have the invitation in your email if you paid for the training. So did you join with a wrong email, Christiana, or you've not paid for the training? Please, I'd like to know the situation. Okay, are you joining? So why didn't you join the email you used to register?
I think this was the email I used to register.
Okay, if this was the email, then you shouldn't have requesting access. You will have direct access. That is fine. Let's continue. So you joined really late, Christiana. You joined really late. I hope you're able to catch up with whatever I would say. So thank you very much for listening, everybody. Now, like I said earlier, I want us to start performing analysis. So once we have a data set, you've done the cleaning, you've engineered new features like you did. The next thing you want to do is to begin to run analysis and looking at distributions of how many people are in the Department of Industrial Chemistry, how many students are in petroleum engineering, how many are in marine engineering, all of those questions. So the best way to answer such question is to create, that is using Google Sheet. You can answer the question in visualization. Don't worry, from next week, Nixon will walk us through how to do that by creating visualization in Looker Studio, right? But before then, let us see how to do a quick, create quick summary statistics in Google Sheets to answer those questions, the kind of questions I just asked now. To do that, you need to create a pivot table. So how do you create a pivot table? Please pay attention very close, give me your keen attention. To create a pivot table, you go to your insert menu, then you click on pivot table. Insert menu, pivot table. Once you do that, the create pivot table dialog box will pop up. And now it gave you a field called data range. That is, it's saying what is the range of data you want to use in creating your pivot. So it's already selected it automatically from A1 to Q151, which is actually correct. That is the entire data set that we have here. From A to Q, you can see A to Q. So they selected the entire range, which is fine. Then the next question which is asking us, where do we want to create our pivot table? Do we want to create it into, or do we want to insert it into a new sheet, or want to insert it into the existing sheet? So in our case, I like us to insert the pivot table into a new sheet. So if you leave this option on, it will create a new sheet called pivot table 1. Let's click on create and see what happens. Now can you see that it has created a new sheet called pivot table 1? Do you all see that? If you understood what I did, give me thumbs up. Or if you understand what I did, rather, give me thumbs up. Okay, good. So that is it. Now our data is still here, student tech skills. And now this is another tab called pivot table 1. Don't forget we have 3 more data sets that we are yet to touch. Right? Let's just work with this. Now on the pivot table 1, a blank table is created automatically, which is actually the pivot table that we're working with. So you can see right now it's blank. It only has columns, rows, values.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yes, Christina, because I am not seeing anything. Please just give me 1 minute. We're trying to connect to another internet source.
Okay, sir.
All right, guys. So we're back. Let's continue. So take note of these things, the columns, the rows, and the values. So now let me make us understand what I'm about to do. The first question I want to answer is this: how many students are from the different departments that we recorded on in our data sets? That is, students are in industrial chemistry, those that filled the form that we shared out, how many of them are in petroleum engineering? How many are in marine engineering, and in chemical engineering, and so on and so forth? That's the question I want to answer. Now, to answer the question, what I will do is I will click on, I will ensure that my pivot table is selected. Any area of the pivot table, anywhere, you can select anywhere. That's the first thing. The next is to come to the rows. So what do I want in the row? Now, there are two ways to do this. It's either you click on add row and select the column of interest, which is department, yeah, or you come to this, you can see where you have the rows listed here. Just click on department, drag it to the row and leave it. Those are the two ways to do that. If you understand the two methods, show us now, give me thumbs up. If you understand those two methods, give me thumbs up. Beautiful. So it's either you click on at front of row to see a list of all the row or the columns, select the one of interest, or you can easily click and drag departments and drop it here. So once I did that, you notice that we now have all the different departments in our data set all listed here. Chemical engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, industrial chemistry, marine engineering, mathematics, petroleum engineering, and physics. Yeah, and they are listed in alphabetical order. You pay attention to it. Can you see that? So it will list it automatically in alphabetical order, and I will tell you why it's doing that. So Georgina wants me to come again. Let me do that again. So again, I want to see a distribution of the departments by the students, number of students. What I mean is how many students are in each of these departments. So I created the pivot table, and in my pivot table, I would ensure that a cell in the pivot table is selected. Then I come to rows, click on add, and select the column of interest, which is departments, because the list of all the departments. All right. Next is I want to see how many students are in each of these departments. I want to see numbers here, number of students, this, and this. So how do I get that done? I'll do that by scrolling to values. Values. I've skipped columns. I want to come to values. Click on value. Numbers listed here. And what numbers are we seeing? We are seeing, please pay attention to this side of my screen, to this side. We are seeing the student ID that is being summarized by what? Counting. Let me go back to our data set. An ID represents one student. Yeah? Am I making sense, guys? One ID represents one student. Another student. So what the computer has done is it goes to industrial chemistry, and it counted the number of IDs that are tied to industrial chemistry. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. You know, that is exactly what the computer has done using the pivot table. So at the end of the day, it did that, and it gave us, oh, in chemical engineering, there are 19 students. In computer science, there are 21 students. In chemical engineering, there are 13 students. Industrial chemistry, there are 19 students. Marine engineering, 19. Mathematics, 17. Petroleum engineering, 23. And physics, 19. And that gave us the accurate number of students that we have in our data sets, which also gives us the exact number of branch total as expected, which is 150. It means we sampled the opinion of 150 students. Guys, do we understand what I have just explained and how we created this pivot table? Do we understand? If you understand, give me thumbs up. If you don't understand, give me thumbs down. All right, I'm happy that everybody understands. Good. This is very, very good. This is very, very good. Now, the next question I want to answer is this. Let's go back to, we created a column called age group. Now, let's see how many students are classified under teenager and how many students are classified under adults. Let's do that together. Watch this. So I don't need to go back to insert pivot table so I don't need to do all of those again. Once I do it once, it is okay for me to have only that one pivot table. So what I would do is to copy this existing table, this existing pivot table here. Just copy, and you don't have to highlight everything to copy. Just select one of the cells, press Ctrl C to copy, and paste it in the cell you would like to see it. Can you see that? Immediately I copied and pasted, it gave me the entire table, even though I didn't highlight the entire table before copying. All right. Now, once you have done that, you would make sure this pivot table that you've copied, make sure your cursor is on that pivot table, any cell on the pivot table, anywhere. So once your cursor is anywhere on the pivot table, go to the rows, take the rows out. Take the value actions, please. Am I making sense? Does that? I want to see thumbs up to be sure that you guys are following. Okay, Beauty is giving me thumbs up. Okay, Beauty, please, can you unmute your mic and ask your question?
Sorry, please, I want you to
point?
come again. Just this second one. I understand the first this thing and the copy and Ctrl C paste and everything. Just come again, please.
Okay, let me do it again. I'll delete this. I'll delete the entire table that I added here. So what I'm saying is, if you want to make a copy of the existing pivot table, if you want to create another pivot table, you don't have to go to insert and you don't have to go to those. Just make a copy of the existing pivot table. Again, you don't have to highlight it all in copy. Just select one row or one cell, and then you copy, Ctrl C, then paste it anywhere you want it to appear. So I want it to appear from D2 down. So I'll select only cell D2 and press Ctrl V to paste, and that's it. So I've pasted the copied pivot table. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to take out this distribution because that's not my interest. My interest is to see the distribution of the age group that we created. So I would just come back to this pivot table editor section, take out this row by clicking on X. The row is out. Then take out student ID. Although I need the student ID actually, but I'll take it out because I want to go over the process again. Yeah, so that you understand it. So anytime you want to do a count of things, you count by the ID. Yes, please, your hand is up. What is your question?
I'm sorry, you just pasted the one you just copied. So why remove it again? And then I'm a bit lost in that part. Can you hear me?
Network.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Come again, please.
I said you just I said control. You just pasted the one you copied. Why remove it again? I'm a bit lost. This thing is looking like magic in my eye.
Okay, I understand. So who wants to answer BT's question? Let me see if there's any other question on the code I understand what I did or that's getting me. Who wants to attempt to answer BT's question? Christiana, do you want to answer BT's question? Okay, Adetutu unmuted a mic. Please go ahead, Adetutu.
Okay, so we want to try to create another table. That's why everything inside this new table was cleared.
Another table for what?
For the age.
Beautiful. Some people are following. Thank you very much, Adetutu and Co. So, did you hear that? Because we are trying to create another pivot table for age group. Now, this pivot table is for departments, but we want to create a pivot table for age group, this age group that we created. That's the reason why when we copied the department pivot table, we had to remove that row even though I said the value is what we're still going to use, but I want to do this, take the step again, just to
Okay,
reiterate
so
for people to understand.
okay, pasting it now. Instead of that means what you're trying to do, instead of going over to doing inserts and put pivot table again, you just
Exactly.
copy and paste. Oh, okay, I
Exactly.
get it.
Exactly. You're getting the point now. And if I go again and do insert pivot table, the pivot table will not appear on this existing pivot table. To be creating more tabs. You will see pivot table 2, pivot table 3. So that, let's say
Okay.
if you want to do like 10 distributions, you will have 10 tabs. It doesn't make sense. So it's better you just
Okay.
work with one and keep copying the existing one, pasting it, they're changing whatever
Okay.
you want to see. Yeah, I'm happy that you
Yeah, yeah.
understand now. So
Thank
now
you.
on my row, I want to put the age group. So I'll click on, or I'll just go to age group here, age group, click and drag it to row, and I leave it there. Now you can see on the table I have teenager and adult or young adult, which is as expected. So we want to know how many students fall under the age group of teenager and how many of them fall under the age group of young adult. To do that, scroll down to the values section. And again, what are we counting? We are counting the student ID column again. And here we can have it. We have it. There are 57 teenagers and 93 young adults. It is as simple as ABC. Can you see how simple it is? Now let's try one more distribution. Let's say I want to see the different numbers of students in all the levels that we have. A distribution of the level by the number of students. So how do we do that? Let's go back to our pivot table. Make a copy of any of the 2 pivot tables you have created earlier. Let me make a copy of this one. And I'll paste it here. And then I'll take out the age group. Because my distribution will always be done by student ID, count of student ID. I won't take it out again. I just took it out earlier so I can do it again for anyone who missed it to see. But right now that we understand that this is the student ID column that we're doing a count with other distributions, we'll leave it there. So on the row, in this case, I'll be adding the level because that's my interest. And once I do that, you can see that we have this level. But there's something strange happening here. You notice that the 300 that we changed yesterday, it is appearing as a different category. It's not being captured as this. So that is because this number 300 is still being seen as a text, as a numeric data. But this one is seen as a text. So how do we solve this problem? For those of you on the call yesterday, you notice that what I did yesterday was just to change the alignment. Others were aligned to the left, but the one I changed was aligned to the right. Do you remember, guys? That what happened yesterday. If you remember, give me a thumbs up. If you're on the call yesterday, you remember. Good. So the alignment I changed did not change the data type. So it means that I was meant to change the data type and not the alignment. Let me show us quickly how to change the data type. Now you see what is happening here, right? This 300 is coming to the right, while others are to the left. So all I need to do is to go back to my source of data, ensure that this column is highlighted, right? Then go to Format, point your arrow to number, and select plain text. Once that is done, our problem has been solved. Watch this. Once I get back to my pivot table, can you see that 300 that was aligned to the right is no longer there again? It has fixed itself, and everything is now seen as a text data. No more numeric and text. So that is how to solve such problem in case you encounter that. And we now have the distribution of the level by number of students. So we have 27 people in 100 level, 31 in 200 level, 34 in 300 level, 24 in 400 level, 34 in 500 level. So this is, you can see how beautiful this is. Anyone who says that they are a data analyst or a data professional and they don't know how to use the pivot table, that person has not started learning anything. Pivot table is a very powerful tool that gives you a quick summary of your data set. in case you need to make quick decision or you want to see a quick distribution of your data. Yeah, am I making sense, guys? Now let's create one more interesting pivot table, something that is more interesting than what we have been doing. Now look at it. Let's look at it this way. In this level-based distribution, I would like to see of these 27 students who are in 100 level, how many of them are male and how many of them are female? Of the 31 students who are in 200 level, how many of those 31 are male and how many are female? So how do you achieve that using pivot table? Listen carefully. How to achieve that is this. I'm going to make a copy of this one that I've done. I'll paste it here. You can paste it anywhere actually. So what I will need to add, I just need to add one more thing. I need to add a column. Remember we omitted column for in the first 3 pivot tables we created. We left out the column field. We didn't put anything here. So now I will add gender to the column field. Watch this closely. I'll click on gender and drag it to column. Once I leave it, you see what happens. Our table has been expanded and it looks more beautiful. That's given us a broader distribution and a deeper insight into our data. So this table tells us that we have 8 female who are in 100 level and 19 male who are in 100 level. 13 female are in 200 level, 18 male are in 200 level, 23 female and 11 male are in 300 level, and so on and so forth. So you can see how this is how to get insight into your data. This is where numbers start speaking volume. This is where analysis start making sense, right? And then you can begin to talk about your data by creating pivot table. It gives you all of this broader view into your data set. And to now crown everything up, to make it more, to give us much more insight. Because some people are not so good with numbers. I want to introduce us to what is called charts. I know that our dashboard master, which is Nixon on the call, we do justice. We do plenty justice to this from next weekend. So please make sure you don't miss that class. If you miss next weekend's class, that means you are going to miss a lot from next weekend. But before he comes on board to show us how to create a dashboard, a beautiful dashboard using Lucas Studio, yeah, I will show us how to do something very simple, how to create charts. So the next thing I want to show us in the next few minutes now is not how to create dashboard, but how to create different charts in Google Sheets. Because Google Sheets also allows for creating of charts. Now, since I am not so good with numbers, I want to see visual representation of this data set that is on the table already. It's already on the tabular format. You know, we started from the raw data. This is very large and just having so many columns, so many rows. There's no much sense or no much insight can be gotten from this raw data. We took a step further to creating pivot tables for each column, and it gave us a better summary data that makes much more sense compared to the raw data. Is that correct? Guys, is that correct? So this pivot table is good. Now we want to go to another higher granular level that will give us a pictorial representation of each of these data sets or each of these distributions. So how do we achieve that? Listen carefully. I'll start by creating a chart for the department distribution. So all I need to do is to highlight from department down to 19. I don't want to include the grand total in my chart. So I'm not going to highlight up to the grand total. I started from department down to 19, right? Then I'll go ahead. I'll click on insert and then I'll select chart. So once I do that, Google Sheet will create a beautiful chart. Can you see how the chart looks like? Very fantastic. And now from my chart, I can quickly see that the department that has the highest number of students, which is what? Petroleum engineering, because it has the highest bar. Then The next department is what? Computer science, followed by chemical engineering. So this is how to begin to now put your data in visualization form that makes it look very beautiful. So, but the way my chart is arranged, so they are just scattered here and there. So I would love to arrange these charts such that the highest bar will come first, followed by the next, the next, the next. That is called arranging the bars in descending order. So if the bar chart, or if these bars of my bar chart are arranged in descending order, I can quickly see which one has the highest number of students, I mean the department, and which department has the least number of students. So are we good? Are we ready to see how I'm going to do that? Who is looking forward to seeing how to arrange the chart? Let me see your reactions. Good. Now let me show us how to do that real quick. To do that, you need to come. Let me reduce this chart first. I'll reduce the chart, then I'll bring it to this side. Just move it to the left. So to do that, I will need to come back to my pivot table here. Okay, someone's hand is up. Let me hear your question. Beauty. Beauty, go ahead, please. I can't hear you if you're speaking. The mic is muted.
Sorry, I didn't know. I said maybe very irrelevant question, but please, how did you reduce the chart?
No, it's not irrelevant. It's very, very relevant. So to reduce the chart, when you select a chart, not only chart, any item or object in computer, you would see some squares at the tip, the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 squares. To increase and reduce it, you can use any of those squares. But I'll always advise that you use the edges, the tip. So click and drag it down, or click and drag it up. Either ways, if you want to increase or reduce it. That makes sense, right? Beautiful.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. So now back to the rearrangement of our bars. Now the reason why these bars are arranged the way they appear on this chart is because that is how they are arranged on my pivot table. Can you all see that? The first department is chemical engineering, and the first bar here is what? Chemical engineering. The second department is computer science, and that is what appeared as the second bar. The third one is electrical engineering, and so on and so forth. So that is the reason why they are arranged the way they are in my chart. But if I want them to be arranged in descending order, it means I have to rearrange this my table based on the number of students in the department in descending order, which means 23 should be the first, followed by 19, followed by 17, and so on and so forth, or followed by 21 rather. So how do we achieve that? Please pay attention. I need everybody's eye to be on my screen now. Everyone's eye should be on my screen. So to rearrange these numbers in descending order so that rearrangement will be affected or will be affected. I want to speak rubbish English now. So that arrangement will be will reflect. You see the reason why it's good to go to school. The arrangement will reflect on my bar chart. I will do it from this point. Watch this. You come back to your pivot table editor. Scroll to the rows. Right now, you will see there is something called order here. Order. It is ascending that is selected. I will change this order to descending. But that didn't solve our problem. That's our problem, not yet. Right? Can we all see it? Is our problem solved? Not, or is our goal achieved? Not yet. Even though I have changed it to descending. Now, there's one more thing I need to do. I will have to come back to the second field, sort by what? So right now it's sorting by the department, by the column called departments. That's what it's sorting by. But I want to sort it by the count of students. So I will come back to sort by and select count A of students. And voila, our problem is now solved. You can see how the bars are now beautifully arranged in descending order. And I can quickly tell you that the department with the highest number of students from my chart is petroleum engineering because it has the highest, the biggest bar, followed by computer science, followed by physics, followed by marine engineering, industrial chemistry, chemical engineering, and the list is electrical engineering. Yes, I need to ask a question.
So in case ever you want to change the colors of the bars, can you do that here?
Yes, of course, we can change the color to the bars and make it look more beautiful. I'll do that. Don't worry. I love aesthetics. I love beautiful beautiful charts. I'll show us later. But for now, I hope everybody understands what we have done so far. So far, so good. If you understand, please give me your reactions. Beautiful, beautiful. So let us change the color of the bars as Adetutu had asked. But before we do that, whenever you have a categorical data set like the one we have, such that their names are long, you can see that some of the names are hidden. Can you all see that? The only way to make this name appear is maybe increasing the width of this, and then it becomes long, and this is no fine for my eye like this. So if I want to keep it short, not so long, but I want all the names to appear, it is better you use a bar chart. So this chart, that is, I know we were taught in mathematics secondary school that this is a bar chart. Everybody just call this bar chart. In Google Sheets, it is also a bar chart, but there is a special name for it. And the special name for it is column chart. Whenever the chart has vertical orientation, when the chart has vertical orientation, we call such a chart column chart. When I say vertical orientation, what do I mean? I mean that the charts are vertically arranged like this. Vertical is when something goes from top to bottom, up, down, up, like these are vertical orientation. So, but if they are arranged horizontally, like from left to right, from left to right, from left to right, we call that a bar chart in Google Sheets. So how do I change it? Now I want to change this from column chart to a bar chart. I want to change it from vertically oriented bars to horizontally oriented bars. I hope my English is clear enough and everybody is understanding what I'm saying, right? Beauty. So you see now that I'm speaking big grammar now, Beauty doesn't understand me. Okay. Don't worry, you understand. When I do it, you understand. Don't worry, I'll show you now. You understand. So let me do it first to help you understand what I'm saying. I will come to these three dots and click on edit chart. Then it will give me the chart editor pin. So right now you can see what is active here is what? It's called what? Column chart. The name of the chart you see here is what is the name of the chart that is appearing on my screen. Again, whenever the bars are vertically oriented, it is called column charts. But what I want to achieve is a bar chart. So how do I change it? Just click on this chart type column and select this one. And that is a bar chart. Can you see now? This is a bar chart. So we now have the charts arranged this way. Even the names are still not showing all fully the way I want them to show. But it's not a bar chart. It's not a bar chart. Let's do that way. So this is a bar chart. So anytime I want to create a bar chart we have horizontally arranged bars. I believe that Beauty now understands. Okay, you can see they are all showing now. Maybe I made it longer. Beauty, I hope you now understand what I mean by vertical and horizontal orientation. Good. It is the way the bars are appearing. Yes, so if the bars are appearing horizontally, that is the type of chart we call bar chart in Google Sheets. But if the bars are arranged vertically, we call such a type of charts a column chart. So this is a bar chart that has the different bars of this. So let's edit, change the color. But to do that, before I will do that, I want to move this chart away from the pivot table tab. I would like to create a new tab between this pivot table and the energy consumption. I want to create a new tab between both of them. So I'll select the pivot table 1 tab, and I'll click on this plus sign. Can you all see the plus sign at the bottom left corner of my screen? If you can see the plus sign, give me a reaction, please. Can you see the plus sign? That sign is called Add Sheet. So when I click on the Add Sheet chart, it has created a blank sheet called Sheet 1. I would like to rename this Sheet 1 to Dashboard. So all I need to do is double click inside and call it Dashboard. All right. So now this chart that I've created here, I will make a copy of it. Click here and select copy chart. Then I'll go back to my dashboard and paste it, Control V, and here is the chart. It's being pasted here. I'll go back to pivot table and delete it here because I've made a copy already, and the copy is in dashboard sheet. Now let's quickly edit the chart, give it a color, make it look better. So I want everyone to pay attention, please. So to do that, I'll click on the three dots. Yes, someone's hand is up. Beauty. Let me hear your question.
I'm sorry to ask. Is it do you necessarily is it just that you're trying to like let us know about the different types of charts, or you just, because I think the other first chart is finer than this one.
Okay. I understand you. I understand you. So beauty prefers the column charts compared to the bar charts.
Yes.
Let me see. God. Hold on. Please just give me a minute, guys. Let me see something.
Are you
All right, guys. Can we continue now? So beauty, let me tell you something. Yes, the column what's it called? Column charts might look better than this one, right? In your own eye. But I am not only trying to tell you right? But in column charts, even those one are hiding. If I should increase the height, everything will appear, right? So whenever you are creating a chart that has longer name for the categories, it is advisable to use a bar chart to represent such data. But if the names of the categories are not so long, then you can use a bar chart. So does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So now let's quickly edit this chart and then call it a night. So quickly, to change the colors, I would go to click on this and click edit chart. The first thing I want to change is the title of the chart. Count A of student ID versus department is not a chart. It doesn't, like, that description is not departments by number of students. All right. So departments by number of students. So I just changed the title now, and I can change the size of the title. Let's say font size 12. Okay, 12 is too small. 18. Okay, 18 is not bad. I can change the color of that. Let's use this color. That's not bad. I can make it bold if I want. That's not bad. And I can also, so all of those settings about the title and all will be done on that title bar. Now, one other best practice is since I have department by number of students already as the title, I don't need to put this title department here again, which is the vertical title, axis title. So I can take it out. And to do that, I'll come back to this chart title and select vertical axis title. You can see the vertical axis title now is department. I can delete it just to take it out. So once I did that, you can see that the chart now has more space to breathe. Then I can also take out this count A of student ID. I don't need it because I know that this is number of students already. So I'll go back to horizontal axis title, delete this one, and then it's out. Now my chart is now bigger. It has more space to breathe. Can you all see that, guys? Can you all see that? I need reactions to confirm you can hear me. Good. The next thing I want to do is to give my chart a background color. And to give a background color, I'll do that by coming to I'll do that from this chart style. When you come to chart style, you will see background color. Right now it is white or transparent. Oh yeah, it's white. So I want to use this color for my background color, and that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Or should I change the color to something else? Let me use a brighter of that red color. So I'll go to pick a color. No, I'll go to plus, and then make it brighter. Just move this guy to make it brighter, and this is it. Yes, I think I love this. So it's making sense now. And the bars, I can change the bars also. Okay. Now this is the chart border color. Is this? I can also make it the same color as that. Then I can change the bars. The bars, you will change the bar color from using series. You change the bars color using series. When you click on series and you find the color, so this is the fill color, this is the line color. So I'll click on this fill color. I want to give it this color, and that's not so bad, right? I'm trying to use variant of what is it called, oxblood color for my chart. That's not so bad. But there's something we can do. When you're creating a chart, you can choose one color. Okay, I'll use oxblood for only the department with the highest number of students. Then I'll choose a different color for other departments. Let me use let me just see if I can blend this in gray. No, gray is not looking good. If I use this color, is this looking good? Which color can I use with this now? What blend can I use? This oxblood looks better, right? Okay. Okay, oxblood looks better. So I'll leave others as oxblood, but change just this one. This highest color, this one. I'll change it to something like green. Aha. So this is fine. Just to make it stand out. It's standing out, from others, to say, oh, this one has the highest number of students. So this is one way to change the color of your bar. You can just go ahead and explore this edit chart side. So there are a lot of other things you can do. You can also turn on the values. If you want to see the values of the different numbers of students here, I can do that by going to series, and I'll click on data labels. So once I click on data labels, I see the numbers are showing on the bars, right? Can you all see that? Now I have my numbers showing on the bars. I can change the position of my data labels. Let it be outside end. Okay, makes sense. It's not so bad. The numbers are outside end, makes sense. Now I can also give a background color of those numbers to make it look more beautiful. Watch this. I'll go to here. Can I give it a background color? Okay, text color automatic. No, I think it's only text color I can give it here in this. It is in other tools like Lucas Studio and Power BI that can give it a background color. But here, I think this is fine enough. This is good enough. So let's just take it like this. Let's leave it like this. Let's leave it like this. So now you can see that we have created a very beautiful chart. And if you don't want those lines at all to show this, all these axis lines, I can take out those lines from bars and horizontal axis. No, I think what we have there is vertical. No, vertical axis. I don't want the vertical axis to show. No, grid lines. Sorry, show at all grid lines and horizontal grid lines. No one is showing, right? Major, I don't want it good. I only want okay, if I take out the major grid lines, that means that guy will go out. Grid line. Okay, it's fine. We can actually work with this. Let me see. Aha, better. This is what I wanted to achieve. So right now, I now have my charts showing very beautiful chart, and you can see the color. We've changed the color. We've done all of this. If I want this name of the department to show at the middle, I can do that. Go back to the title, go back to chart title, and this chart title should be ox blood. It should be ox blood, and I want it to be centralized, and this makes sense. All right, guys, the same thing we've done to this chart, we can do it to every other pivot table. So any pivot table you want to create, I can go back. Let me just create one more chart before we draw the curtain. One more chart. I want to create a pivot table for age group. I will create a donuts chart, highlight it, go to insert, click on insert, click on chart, and Google Sheet already created a pie chart for me. So I'll make a copy of this chart, then I'll take it to my dashboard, drop it here, and do your modifications, right? Place it here. You can reduce the size a little bit, go to edit charts, change the title of the chart, go to pie charts, no title. Let's start with the title. Let's change this title to what is it again? Age group distribution, right? Age group distribution. That is the title. And under the title, I want to choose the same ox blood color. I think we used 12 the other time. Was it 12 we used or 14 or 18? Okay, we used 18. And I will change it to ox blood color. I'll make it bold. I'll take it to the center as I did for the other. And then my slice, my pie slice, I want to use, okay, I want my pie to be like a donut chart of 75%. No, this is not what I want to do. So I want it to be a donut chart. Where is it? I think it's pie chart. Yes, here. Donut whole 75%, or let me use 50%. This is fine. 50% is okay. And what else do I want to do? I want to change this, my red. I think it's more of oxblood already. My pie. So teenage, instead of having teenage to be blue, I want to use teenage to be lighter red, and I want this guy to be more darker ox blood. This is fantastic. Then the what's it called? The chart background also should use the same light red. Can you see how beautiful this dashboard? So before you know, you begin to put more charts, and you are building up a very fantastic dashboard. And you can take a screenshot of this and write. So this is what data analytics is all about. You would learn more of this, building up interesting dashboard like this with Nixon in our next class. So I'll be giving us an assignment from what we have learned so far. So far, with the data set you have collected, the data set you've all collected, I will drop an assignment in the WhatsApp group. So the assignment will entail you writing some functions, creating some columns, and creating pivot table, and also creating some simple charts like this before next weekend. And with this, we've come to the end of today's class. Ooh, it has been an amazing one. So there are questions before we end. I'd like you to ask your questions. Are there questions? Any question, please? All right. So far so good. So in one word, how has been the training so far for you? Do you think the money you paid is worth it? Go to the chat and drop your experience so far. Go to the chat box. I want to hear from everybody. If I say everyone should speak, we might not have time to get everyone speak. Just go to the chat box and drop how your experience has been. So do you think
It's
you have
amazing.
value for your money? Yes. I want to see your responses in chat box. So how has been your experience? I heard your response, Duty. Drop it in the chat. How has been your experience in one word? Do you think this training worth it? Do you think the money you've paid worth it? Go to the chat and let me see. Why am I not seeing responses yet? In one word, how has been your experience? Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you, Beauty. Beauty said it's been amazing. Emmanuel,
I think
said,
the only difficulty I'm having here is the first split column or
function.
split bar. I don't know.
The split, you will have
The
to share
split
your
function.
screen.
That's the only no. I think I just need to watch it and take it like slowly as I'm watching and practicing. That's really what I can understand, because I feel like the whole thing was so fast and I couldn't like try to do it on my own. But if I watch the video, I'm going to understand it. But this particular one, I really enjoyed it of all. This and then the creating of the form.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Don't worry. When you go over the video, you get it. So, Emmanuel, you have said excellent. I love that. Ramat said awesome. Georgina said it was awesome. Daniel said, my question, sir. What's the question, Daniel? That means a question. Let me go back to Daniel's question. Daniel, what's the question? Can you unmute your mic? Let me hear you. Ask a question. I can't see a question in the chat.
Okay, so I asked about our last assignment, sir.
Last assignment.
Yeah, the one you gave us during our first week.
Yes, the assignments we've gotten it already. I've been going through it. Is that same assignment, that you've done? That is what you will continue with. I said it yesterday. So you will give a follow-up assignment with the data set you have collected, and that is the reason why we said everyone should collect as many data set as possible. So with that data set, you will have to do assignments based on what you have learned from yesterday's class and today's class. And you will need to create charts. So if you don't have enough data in your own assignment, please ensure you ask your friends, your community, you should fill the form and collect more data. So Daniel, don't worry, we've seen your responses. I spoke about it yesterday. I think you were not on the call. And then we'll continue with the same assignment you have done.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So Christiana said, even though I joined late, it was great, sir. Thank you very much, Christiana. Okay, so it's on this note we'll draw the curtain, and I'm going to miss all of you, but I'll be on the call. But Nixon will be taking over next week. Please, like I said earlier, make sure you join, because you see what we've done here about this dashboard that we built. That is looking like this is amazing. Hey, this is nothing compared to what you will learn from next week, because next week we are going to connect Google Sheets to a tool called Looker Studio. Looker Studio is built for visualizations and creating dashboard. It has more functionalities, and you will learn how to create simple metrics. You also learn how to create dashboard that's very interesting and good, and you can share it with anybody. You can share the dashboard, anyone can view it, and this is where you begin to think about how to start making money from this skill you've learned. You can meet up any business owner or a friend or anyone who wants to create a dashboard, collect data set with Google Sheets, store it in collect the data set with Google Forms, store it in a Google Sheet as a database, perform some simple analysis or simple structuring like we did, and then connect it to Looker Studio and build visualizations. Yes, I can see some hands are up. Let me take their questions. Beauty, let me hear your question.